Good morning, everybody. This is the Squeak, live from the Kalona Creamery. We are streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and LinkedIn. That's for the poor folks who are behind me who just realized that the camera turned on. I'm Sam Ingersoll, your host. This is our live show that we do from the Kalona Creamery most Fridays when I'm around. We have a couple special guests today. Jody from, let me get the caption up here. Jody from CBI Bank Trust is here. Abigail, a very nice lady, told me she was excited about our Cheese Curds, Iowa history, and chocolate milk, is probably going to join us via video. She had a little bit of a conflict, which is why we're starting early this morning. And then Robert will come out and do a tour. He's the cheese curd expert here. He's usually back in production, which is right back behind me. But today, hopefully he'll be able to join us. Robert and his wife just had a baby. I continue to ask them to bring the baby on because the baby's adorable, but no luck so far yet. And as usual, you know, when we see people coming by, we frequently invite them to be on camera here with mixed results. Let me see. Hello. How are you?
Good. How are you?
We are live on air in our special Squeak, the Squeak Show. You want to sit down for a sec?
No.
Tell me? Oh, darn. 0 for 1. I keep score. Usually I'm about 3 for 10. I'll get to appear. So if you're just joining us, I know people join over time as Facebook shows this. We'd love to hear from you. If you comment in the comments below, I'll definitely be able to see your comments. We'd love to hear about your memories of the Kalona Creamery. Lots of folks come here with their kids after they came here as kids with their grandparents or parents. And there's Pam Evans, fudge maker extraordinaire. Pam, you want to say hi?
Sure.
Come on and sit down for a second. This is Pam. When you come to the creamery and get fudge, or if you see all the lovely flowers out front near the big old blow-up cow, Pam is the one responsible for the fudge. Pam, thanks for joining us.
Oh, sure.
I think our sound is good here. It's so nice to have you on the show this morning. Tell us a little bit about our world famous fudge, which now is shipped via gift boxes to more than 48 states.
Oh, wow.
We're very proud of that.
I didn't know that.
Your fudge has made it all the way to California and Florida,
wow.
and even New York City, right in Brooklyn, actually, we sent in a box. So
That's cool.
Yeah. Tell us about how you got your history here and how you got started making fudge here at the creamery.
Well, one inroads I had is that my family owns a creamery.
Uh-huh.
So I'm married to Bill Evans, and he runs a creamery and some other businesses. But I was never planning to make fudge. But one day, well, Bill actually told me to cut back on spending one day.
He's an accountant, or he's a financial guy.
He's an accountant and a finance guy. And so I thought, well, I needed to get something. So I went to a consignment store. I thought, well, I'll do that. Hadn't been with them for a while. And when I went to leave, there was a big stainless steel pot on the floor near the checkout. I guess I'll look at you. At the checkout, and then I looked at it, it said it was a candy pot. And we had just bought the cheese scratcher, but it wasn't open yet.
Yeah.
I thought, oh wow, a candy pot. Well, that could be something you could possibly use here. Well, then I looked at it and it was $300. And I thought, well, if I'm told to cut back and I show up with a $300 pot that I have no idea what to do with, it might not go over too big. So I didn't buy it. But then when I went home, I couldn't get out of my mind. I kept thinking, I really want that pot. You can make candy. I knew it was something for candy. It said candy pot on it. So I couldn't resist. So the next day, I'm going back. I don't care if I get in trouble, if Bill gets mad. I don't know if he heard this story, but
I've never heard this story. I'm going to talk to him later about it.
I don't think he's listening to this. But I thought, I don't care. I'm going to buy it. And so I went up there and took the tag up to the counter. And then when I got there, they said, oh, it's on 50% off today. I was like, oh, wow. 150. I thought, nice. I'm only in half as much trouble as I would have been. He never even noticed it. But I took that home. And then through one thing led to the next, I figured out that it was for a franchise called Calico Cottage, where they make a lot of the fudge around the country at different tourist places, they'll have the big displays of fudge. Well, that's what this was for.
Oh.
I was like, oh, wow. And I called the person up and they said, well, I said, how did you get that pot and what did you pay for it? I said, well, I only paid $150. I said, oh, wow. I said, you know, those are worth $5,000. Yes. And he said, even used, they're worth $3,000.
Wow.
So, and he said, those are never out there because it's a franchise and people we buy the pots back and keep track of all the serial numbers and stuff. So he says, I don't know how you did that. And so he helped me get started. And then the day that we started selling our own fresh cheese curds here again, they made some changes and things. So we slipped the fudge in then. And so it's been doing really well since then. And I've somehow learned how to make fudge. And I really like to be a creative cook. So it's been a good fit for me.
Interesting. So I know they've expanded in the last year. They've expanded the fudge counter.
To
take up more space due to popular demand.
Yeah.
So did you just get started with chocolate? What kind of flavors did you start with, and where are we now? I know there's, 15, 12, 15.
No, there's.
Is this just so? How did it start? Just chocolate with chocolate, and then the whim strikes you, and next thing you know, there's a.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. I go by the whims. But well, it was actually a funny story how I got started. That I never really brought it in here. I didn't really know what I was doing. And one day my daughter said, well, Mom, you should take that fudge pot and go make fudge down at the Kelowna Fall Festival. You could make some money. So I thought, oh, well, that's always fun. And so I called up the company and the guy, and it was good. That was on a Monday, and Fall Festival we had to set up on Thursday night. And I'd never made the fudge. I didn't have any of the ingredients, but I called up the Midwest distributor. Well, I guess it was a sales director or whatever.
Yeah.
He says, oh, well, we can't get you fudge that quick, that you could make it that fast. But he said there was some other place in the state that sold it that I could go and ask them. So I did that, and I ended up getting somebody said, well, you have to have a sneeze guard. So I didn't have a sneeze guard.
That is,
the glass, the glass that keeps your fudge clean. So a lady sold me a used one that she had. Anyway, I got it all set up. I did only have chocolate mix at that point. So I made all chocolate fudge with different toppings, M&Ms and caramel and different things. But the funny part was that I had gotten some money. Bill gave me some money towards the fudge, but it wasn't going to be enough to really cover all the expense to get started.
Yeah.
Okay. And I really wanted to do it. And Bill had gone on a trip. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, he was going to be gone, coming home Thursday night, and I was supposed to set up on Thursday. So my daughter mentioned on Monday, and so I said, well, they won't have any spots open at the Fall Festival. I go in and the lady says, oh, yeah, sure, we got a spot open. And what are you thinking of selling? I said, oh, fudge. She's like, what? She said, I love fudge. I used to make fudge at the general store in Kalona. Her family owned Rife's general store. And I hope this isn't too long of a story.
No, this is good. We've got a special guest is joining us here in a second.
Okay, I'll finish my thread. What was I saying about it?
You were an accidental fudge maker. You got equipment, and if anybody is familiar with Kelowna area.
I was at the Fall Festival.
Yeah, we are entrepreneurial.
Yeah, so I was just going to do it all in a spur of the moment, but I thought it was funny that my husband was out of town, so he had no idea I was doing this. And then I got all the supplies. I had to go around the state to different places, and all worked out. And then when he came home, he came to the Fall Festival on Friday afternoon, and there I'm all set up with the big fudge display. And he was like, wow, look at that.
Now it's internationally famous.
Yeah, so now it's here.
Awesome.
And I learned how to make the vanilla fudge.
Well, thank you for joining us. We will have you back again whenever you pass through, just like anybody else.
And if anyone ever wants to have a special requested flavor, they can.
Oh, special requested flavor.
Just leave it at the.
That was Pam Evans, our fudge chef here, part of the family that owns the Kalona Creamery. And sorry for the delay, Abigail. Yes.
Hi, Sam.
Hi. Let me get my headset on here. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So, tell everybody where you're from, and let's talk about the creamery.
Well, originally from Northwest Atlanta, Georgia, now a happy resident of Waukee, Iowa.
Uh-huh.
Sadly, not Kelowna, although we visit often enough we could be secondary residents.
Did you grow up here, or you grew up
I
somewhere else?
I grew up in Georgia. My family is from the Midwest, so this does feel like home to us.
Ah, okay. How'd you find out about the creamery?
Well, actually, we were part of the farmers market community in Georgia, and Kelowna products had made it all the way to us, and we fell in love with it. So when we relocated to Iowa, we're like, now, why does that sound familiar? We know that we know people in Iowa. And I went and I looked it up, and sure enough, Kelowna was there. And so as
Ah,
soon as we got here, that was the first place we went to visit.
was that and when you were in Georgia, was that the DeKalb Farmers Market, DeKalb Market? Is that where you found our organic dairy?
Yes.
Yes. If in case you're wondering, we're talking about Kelowna Supernatural. Kelowna Supernatural Organic Dairy. You can see it in the background there, which comes from about 35, 40 farms right around here. Well, I know you mentioned that let's start with that. I know you mentioned that you love the chocolate milk.
Oh my gosh, it's the best chocolate milk in the world. We buy it a little bit more than we need, probably more than regular milk, but that's just fine.
We do cut it occasionally with other Kelowna milk, just because it's pretty sweet for sure.
Is it? Haven't
Yeah.
noticed.
You want to know the secret to it?
Yes, I do.
The secret is, first of all, it's from grass-fed cows that graze on pasture, so it doesn't come from cows with a heavy diet of corn and other junk. No GMOs. It's all organic.
Right.
And then we don't pasteurize it at a very high temperature. Even organic dairy companies are going to ultra high temp pasteurization, which is at 280 degrees. Basically sterilizes the milk. You don't even need to refrigerate it. If they didn't refrigerate, nobody would buy it. So it's still in the refrigerated section, but that tends to kill everything in the milk. And then it's not homogenized. So you probably cream naturally separates from milk over time, unless you smash the cream up into millions of pieces through some mechanical process and beat it up. And we don't do that either. So it feels very full. It feels like a milkshake, but
Yes.
in milk form, it's kind of strange that way. It's so thick and rich, but it's in milk form. So those are the keys. And the other key is our secret cocoa powder mix.
That's really neat to hear the
Which we
science
will
behind
never
that.
share. Yeah, we will never share that with anybody. Awesome. So you did come and visit the creamery recently?
Yes.
Or a while ago? Yes. Okay. What did you get when you were here?
The last time would have been in March, so right after the snows finally melted and we were able to make that trip.
Oh, nice. Did you get Cheese Curds?
Yes.
I lost you. We just lost her. Must be a bad connection. She also works for the police department. Our boss is doing a presentation, so we had to have her here just a little bit early. Lots of guests here at the Kalona Creamery. She joins us. Yep, back on in. There we go.
Hi.
We're not ABC or CNN or anything. We're pretty low budget here, so sometimes the connection cuts out. And you're on your phone too. Well, thanks for joining us. What do you do in Waukee now that you're living there?
I reside in Waukee. I'm actually I work for the Ankeny Police Department, which is about 2 hours west of you guys.
Yes, I think I got a ticket from the Ankeny Police Department for. I drive our daughter's a basketball player, so I drive her to Ames about 3 times a week for a 2-hour practice. That's a 2-hour drive, yeah. And
busy man.
Yeah, and I confess I may engage in speeding on the freeway from time to time.
Nobody just between you and me, Sam.
Yeah, nobody fixes tickets anymore. That's highly frowned upon. So even if a box of cheese curds did show up at the police station one day.
Right. I still couldn't help you, but if there was chocolate milk, maybe I could help you.
Oh. Well, if you message me your address, we'll definitely hook you up with something.
See what we can work out.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks for tuning in here. I know you've got another meeting in a few minutes.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it was great to see you and meet you. And next time you come to Kalona Creamery, let me know.
Yes,
and I'll meet you here.
Would love to say hi.
Awesome. Thanks, Abigail. Appreciate you joining us today. You're welcome. That was special guest Abigail, all the way from Waukee, who discovered our products way down in Georgia. And then when she moved up here, was happy to be much closer where they're sold. We were talking there about the Kelowna Supernatural Organic Dairy brand that's sold in about 3,000 stores nationwide. Most people don't know that. The milk from the farms right down the road here makes it all the way even to Hawaii in the form of buttermilk. We've got lots of folks watching today. Let's see who's here. Christy Vanderpool says, love the Kalona Creamery and try to bring our grandson there when I get a chance. He loves the ice cream and squeaky cheese curds. Hopefully in a couple weeks to bring our granddaughter who's never been there. Christy, we'd love to see you. Thanks for joining us today. In just a second, we have another special guest who's standing over there reviewing the Amish or Anabaptist and Mennonite timeline. And I'll even put her name up here. There she is. Come on and sit down. We're pretty casual here. And I'll even turn up your mic so hopefully people can hear you.
All right.
You are on the Squeak live from the Kalona Creamery. Imagine that.
Very excited to be here. Thanks for asking me.
Sure. So tell us who you are and where you're from. And
great. I'm Jody Drozd, and I currently manage the CBI Bank and Trust branch there in Kelowna. Yeah. So originally born and raised in Kinross, Iowa, which is just a few miles down Highway 22. And was out of the state for a few years, and then this job came up, and I came back home.
Nice. So do you live in Kelowna?
I live in Wellman.
Okay.
We bought a house. My husband and I bought a house in Wellman. So it's kind of halfway between mom and dad and halfway to the job. So
that's good.
it was nice to come back so I could spend more time with my parents.
Yeah.
So Dad just turned 80 on Tuesday.
Happy birthday, Dad. Happy birthday. She should be bringing you something from the creamery here as special.
Some cheese curds.
So how long have you lived here then in Wellman or in the area?
Came back in 2018.
So you've seen a few changes.
Yes, for sure.
I visited here 15 years ago when this was Twin County Dairy.
Yeah.
It was 2.5 million gallons of milk would go through here a day.
Right. A lot has changed. Yeah. And growing up here, that of course, remember all the old things like the bakery and Dr. Conwell doing, your teeth and coming out to this was always a special treat, and going to Rife's, of course, and doing some shopping. And this was always a special treat, coming to get some cheese curds. Mom worked in Iowa City, so she would stop here, pick up some cheese curds, and it was always a hit at the house. So.
It's so funny. We get a lot of people come through here, and they're bringing their kids, but they were brought here as children when they were kids 20, 30 years ago.
It was a real, letdown when it kind of closed down, and there were no more cheese curds, and we were lost for a couple of years.
This was the center of cheese production in the United States. More cheese was produced here than anywhere in the country for, I don't know, probably 15 years maybe. It was pretty incredible. Then everything has changed. The economy's changed. It's gone global. There's technology.
Sure.
There's so many different. There's a lot of different things that led to that. We have just tried to resurrect it as the #1 place for cheese curds in the country. and small business live streaming. We're very innovative here.
I know this is just something just way out of the pocket, right? So I was happy to come down and share my story. But I also want to put a plug in for next Saturday. Kelowna, such a wonderful city, not just the creamery here, but several wonderful shops and little boutiques. And next Saturday we have our Kelowna Days, and so it's got a little bit of a different structure. So there will be the fun run early in the morning, and then the farmers market is there from 9 to 12, and then there's an author that will be in the library, and all of those wonderful, unique little boutiques and shops are open, and all of the awesome Amish stores will be open as well. So check out Kelowna, and then stick around because at 4 o'clock is the big parade. And this year's theme is superheroes. So get out your superheroes costumes, or we were kind of thinking, with the pandemic and everything, that we really found out who our superheroes were, the people that really stepped up and put their lives on the line to help all those. So if you want to come dressed as an EMS worker or a nurse or something like that, that's super. And after the parade, then there's all kinds of kids activities, and there will be food trucks, all kinds of fun food, and a live band playing. So it's time to come out. Finally, we're open again and, ready to celebrate and let loose. So.
That's wonderful. And I feel, I gotta confess here, I feel a little lame because so much of our staff, we're a collection of people, not many people know this, but we're a collection of 7 or 8 different companies.
Right.
We have a trucking company and the Kelowna Supernatural Organic Dairy brand. We're not just a little store.
That's right.
But I'm the marketing person. So I'm torn 20 different ways. And then a lot of our staff who typically support these kind of things and would go to Kelowna Days and have a booth and everything, they've been pulled in production. We're doing so much production. We're doing yogurt here. We actually produce for a couple local businesses, well-known Iowa businesses, restaurants that we actually produce all their stuff back here and help distribute it. Yep.
Did not know that.
Yeah, what we really want to do is support food entrepreneurs and sort of how we've grown organically from just helping little farms via our creamery to developing trucking company to make sure that we don't get robbed by bigger trucking companies, and then we're handling a lot of our own distribution locally. We want to extend that to lots and lots of other folks in the community.
Yeah, I know we always come and grab some milk and things. We do a dairy event later in the fall, I think, and we always come up and get some milk because it's for dairy farmers. So
yeah, and it's pretty unique. It's minimally processed. We do as little as possible to it after it leaves the cow.
Oh, and I know that not only the creamery, but Open Gates, I know, is a big supporter of the community. So we appreciate all that help.
In typical, local fashion, we're very low key about it. I'm trying to do more stuff. I'm like, well, you got to tell your story, right? Otherwise people won't know it. But typically our company is very low key and quiet about what we do.
People don't know it, but they're huge supporters.
I mean, I wanted to be in Kelowna Days. We just got the big cow out there, the 18-foot tall cow. And so I want to put it on a float. I just couldn't quite pull it off to have it and pull it in the float.
Oh my God.
And just we're hiring too. Like I said, we're booming. We got more and more people just pulled into production. We're hiring. I would love a couple marketing interns. You can produce the show.
Yeah, there you go.
Co-host. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but we've got all kinds of production, truck driving positions, even some admin stuff, buyers. The Open Gates collection of families is a great place to get started and develop a career. Some of our staff then move on to big dollar jobs in the big cities when they leave us.
I know.
Yeah, they leave us. I know it's hard.
We knew
to hire.
you win, right? Yeah, I know it is tough.
So tell us a little bit about the bank.
So CBI Bank Trust. I'm not going to go into the huge history. There's a couple of histories if you're following the bank that's been in Kelowna since 1899, originally Farmers Savings Bank, and then Freedom Security, and now CBI. Or if you follow the Central Bank Shares history that goes also back to the middle 19th century and over in Muscatine. But the Kelowna Historical Society, in their latest newsletter, there is the whole history there. So pick up a copy of that. And we're a community bank and just all about helping customers. We're a full service bank. If you need a checking account or a savings account or to invest in, stocks, bonds, or just want to maybe a little higher interest with the CDs, the interest rates aren't super right now, but hopefully they come up soon.
Yeah.
And, if you're looking to buy a house, this is a great time, because the interest rates are low. For those who are investing, not so good, but agriculture farmers, happy to help them, or anybody that's looking to open a business, something commercial. We've got that covered too. So
interesting.
Yeah, we got it all.
What are people? How do you feel? I mean, we've gone through now, these boom and bust cycles, and then COVID came and wiped everything out. But people are saving their money, but now maybe they're just rebounding and they're out spending again.
Yeah, I think one of the things I think we've learned is I was wanting to ask another business recently, but I think in the banking terms, we look at the number of transactions that are done in an hour, so you can kind of judge how many employees do I need to do those transactions? And through the pandemic, of course, coming in and doing your transactions kind of sunk, pretty significantly. But then looking at the online options that we have as far as, depositing your check mobily or transferring funds from account to account on the internet through our app, or, so the online options increase.
Really took off. Yeah.
So we don't know how much of that's going to go back to normal or how much of that is going to stay that way. And with the younger kids, very savvy with the smartphones. Yeah. It's all about, anything electric, anything, I can do on my phone. That's what I want. So, so we're, I think, looking real closely at how we can expand on those online services, to where you can fill out an application for a loan, for example, but we don't have where you can sign up for a bank account yet. There's all of these compliance issues, through the government. You got to go through these hoops and everything. So trying to make it as easy as possible, electronically, online, where people can just, open it right there at the comfort of their home. That's what people got used to, shopping online.
Yeah, we really did. It was a big change.
Getting your toilet paper.
Stocking up on everything you can.
So, but that's basically what's going on there. We're real excited. We will have we'll be in the parade. So, so a couple years ago, we got the first trophy. So we're kind of out for blood.
Who does that? Like, do you guys get together in somebody's house and put it together? Can you spill the beans on what you're doing this year?
Well, it's superheroes themed. So
okay.
Something along those lines, the superheroes.
My wife's a doctor. I haven't seen her in 2 weeks, so.
Oh my gosh. My goodness.
Yeah, it was really difficult being in operating rooms with patients, and then just having to, people don't realize it, but they had PPE, full PPE.
Oh, I know.
And so imagine yelling through layers of plastic and stuff all day long. Mask is not a big deal. Doctors have been wearing masks for years.
Right.
It hasn't damaged their brain function any, but all this stuff, you get headaches, you have to shout. She's like, I can't hear anymore. Like it was pretty rough. It's
I'm sure just seeing all of this sickness and seeing people not being able to connect with their family, and that being the last terrible time. And I would not have wanted to be in your wife's situation at all. But so hopefully there's a lot of that in the parade, and really highlighting those people. So
that's wonderful. Any tips for the graduating seniors? My daughter's a junior. She's looking at colleges. We're thinking about college expenses and stuff. Now the kids are graduating. Any advice for parents on how to save for college?
Oh gosh.
Before it's too late.
There are.
They have to go get a scholarship.
That's something you really want to think about early on when you have children. Is we need to get them into some kind of a student savings account where the parent will be the guardian, and you just start chunking in whatever for birthdays and Christmas, any money they get, and start building up that account. And once you get up to 1,000, then put it in a CD. And where you'll earn a higher interest, but over the 12-year span, there's some pretty significant money you can stock away. So that would be my advice.
Start early.
Yeah, start early, but start whenever. I'm doing
Late's
that
better
with
than never.
My great nieces and nephews all have kids, and so my parents and I have all started these little savings accounts for them. So hopefully when they graduate, they'll have a little nest egg. Start early. And there are programs out there specifically designed for, parents of students, and getting them in good programs where they can save up some money, because it's going to be necessary.
Last question. What's your favorite restaurant in Kelowna?
That's
right. No. Probably bank accounts.
It's the Kalona Creamery.
Oh, yeah.
How could I not say that?
We've had the Kelowna Brewery on here. We've had
they're all
from the quilting place.
Yeah, I saw Grace. That was great. No, every restaurant has something wonderful to offer, really. Great food, great prices, great ambiance, great staff. And so I can't really call a favorite. I can't.
So if you haven't been to Kelowna, come on down and visit the area. Even outside of Kelowna, there's wonderful things to do and see. And now that everything's opened back up, We would love to see you. Guess what you get? You get to spin the wheel for a free prize.
All right. Happy birthday, Dad, right?
Yeah. Dad might get a calf scoop. He might get a bag of cheese curds. What's he going to get here?
One fudge chunk. 12-ounce bag of cheese curds. We'll take it.
Okay.
All right. Super.
That's our favorite. Thank you, Jody, for joining us on the Squeak.
It was a pleasure.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll see you again.
Yeah.
As we
Stop
come through.
into the bank sometime.
Look
Open
for
up
the
a free
float.
checking. Yeah.
Go to the bank, open up free checking, and then go see the parade.
That's
at
it.
Kelowna Days.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Where do I put?
Just back there. Just tell them that Sam said.
Sam said.
Sam on the mic said you want a prize. By the way, if you take a picture of the new cow out front, the big blown up cow that you can see for miles, I still have high hopes of getting it on the roof someday. You can, if you post a picture on social media and tag us, I will see it and I will be in contact somehow to try and get you something from here for free. We want to expand our social media presence. So also, if you're watching, you can go ahead and share this with anybody or share it on your social media, and that would be great. Hello, sir. Would you like to be a special guest? Here, well, you're not a special guest, but okay.
I will sit down, yeah.
Oh, there we go.
No problem.
You are live on the Squeak. Thousands of people across the country are watching. I exaggerate. There's 8 right now, but lots of people watch it on rebroadcast. So on YouTube and LinkedIn and Facebook and Twitter, and look at that, you're Insta famous.
Insta famous, okay. That's just what I wanted to be in Kelowna.
What's your name and where are you from?
I'm Randy Radloff, Kelowna.
Ah, okay. How long have you lived in Kelowna?
29 years, August 1st. So yeah, I'm going on 30 next year. So yeah.
Wow. What was Kelowna
August
like?
92.
What was Kelowna like 29 years ago?
Not as busy, that's for sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
What do you do?
I work at the U of I. That's
Okay.
what brought me down here, yeah.
Ah, okay.
Yep. University, left La Crosse, Wisconsin, came here. So yeah.
What department are you in?
I was in ITS and now I'm at the hospital,
Okay.
call center. So
Okay.
like you, answer a lot of calls.
Yeah.
Phones,
Phones,
nonstop.
not
Yes,
internet
yes,
and email and
yes.
chat like I
Put
do.
that on with a headphone, kind of like the McDonald's drive-through guy. Basically, yes. So what radio station you from here?
No, I'm just the
Oh.
marketing guy here. We just do
You're
a
the
we do a
marketing
live
guy.
stream. See, there you
Gotcha.
are.
Yep,
Look,
gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, live stream. Okay, gotcha.
all over
Oh,
the.
I didn't know.
the
Okay,
the
for
interweb.
Kalona Creamery. Okay.
Yeah.
See before. What's it been taken over twice now?
Uh-huh.
So let's see. I think the people that were in when I moved here had this place. And
Twin
then
County Dairy.
Okay, and then
Yep.
they had it. Well, the
Yep.
people behind in the house here.
Yeah, that was.
That was
yeah.
years ago. Yes.
Yeah, and then
And then was it Twin Dairy? And then after that, it's now whoever. I'm not
Kalona
sure.
Creamery. Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
Evans family.
Right. Yeah. See, I've been having to go back home to get squeaky cheese.
Oh
curds.
no.
And then my wife said, "Oh, they're doing them on Fridays now."
Yeah,
So,
Fridays
yeah,
and
so-
Tuesdays.
Oh, Tuesdays
Yeah,
too. Okay,
Tuesdays
see?
too. You can come
There's
down
a
and
reason
watch
I
them.
sat down. See.
That's where the fresh ones are here. They should
Yep.
be done about 12:30.
Okay. Yeah.
Usually done back right back
Are
there.
there
yeah.
usually a line of people lined up for them? Or?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it gets pretty busy.
Yeah.
Saturday is packed. There's all
Okay.
kinds of-
Okay.
I'd love to
Gotcha.
come
Yeah.
down Saturday, but I'm usually on the
Okay.
road for a basketball
Gotcha.
tournament. Now,
Oh,
I
okay.
noticed it's 12:09.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing through here at 12:09?
Well,
Does your boss know you're out midday Friday?
No, I'm actually off today. So
Okay.
no Mondays or Fridays anymore. So yeah, I'm I only work part-time now. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lucky
Yep.
you.
Yep. Well, let me ask you this. How old do you think I am? Be honest now.
Boy,
The
I'm
camera's
49,
looking at you.
but I'm pretty
Okay.
immature, so they
Yeah.
think I'm 30 something. I'm gonna guess. Wow, I wouldn't put you. I'd put you about my age,
49. Okay, that's pretty close.
maybe lower.
62. I'll
I'm
be
like,
63 next
whoa.
month, August. So yeah, there you go.
Dude's ripped.
There you go. See, I'll shake you on that.
There you go.
See, when we went to the fair, my wife's family in Kyoto, they go to the fair all the time.
Uh-huh.
The Iowa State Fair, one of the biggest.
Sure.
So they go there, and then we went through there last year. Of course, we didn't have it, but the year before, she always gets tickets from KCII to go to Adventureland.
Yeah.
So we go through there and go swimming there because we camp up there at the state fair. So we come back and then coming through where they got the pools now and the water park and
Yeah,
all that.
yeah.
So coming back, there's a guy that guesses your age, your weight, and all that.
Oh,
So
really?
So she says, Randy, go back. And I said, no, let's get going. We got to get back to Kelowna. So then I got thinking, yeah, let's go back and check it out. And so there's 3 levels. Little teddy bears, middle teddy bears, big teddy bears. Okay.
Yeah.
So the guy's looking me over. He's writing it, turn around, like you're for like an interview, So anyway, then after about 3 minutes, and he guessed my age on a piece of paper. He wrote it. So yeah, he said 40-some years old. So if you're off by 2 years, I think if you're off by more than 5 years, you get the big prize. If you're off by more than 3 years, you get the middle. If you're off by 1 or 2, you just get the little one. So I grabbed the big one there and away.
Who'd you give that to?
My niece had a baby girl, so gave it to her at that year. So yeah. So I'm going to go back again. Try and clean them out.
Oh, there you go.
No.
Clean them out.
No.
That's awesome.
No,
My brothers are younger than me, but
okay.
They have a lot more gray than I do. So
Sure.
I think
That's good. Yeah.
People, I don't know. I guess I'm outgoing, and that helps people think. Helps people think you're younger. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Besides, I've decided I'm age fluid. I am now going to be 33.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to stick in the 40s.
Whatever I want to be.
I'm trying to keep it that 50s creeping on me. I've always gotten away with 10 years.
Yeah.
10 years, So yeah, but no, I think because I got all my hair yet. That's
good.
Anyway. So
how
are we looking? Are they bagging yet?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Robert was out here a second ago.
Okay.
I was going to have him tell us all about it.
Okay. Yeah. So you've tried them, I take it, huh?
Oh yeah, Squeaky Cheese Curds. Yep. Yeah.
See, being from Wisconsin, my brother worked at a cheese place in Lynxville. You know where Marquette McGregor is, Perdasheen, go across the bridge.
Oh, okay,
sure. So Perdasheen's actually where my home base. My parents are from, both sides, large families. I was born at the old hospital down there. And my dad was an engineer, moved up to La Crosse. We're a train company, the RANE Central. Yeah, it's huge up there. Yeah. So I worked administration there after college in ITS, and then came here they had an opening here. So yeah.
Nice.
Ended up in Kelowna. Yeah.
Nice, relaxed.
Yeah.
Nice, relaxed community, relaxed job,
yeah,
probably.
Yeah.
Not too crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
it's all been good.
Unless you're IT support, then you're like, oh, these dummies.
It's all changing.
Why can't they just reboot their machines?
I know it. Yeah. It's like the old hammer. So, yeah. But it's all changed now. What I worked on was IBM mainframe, and now it's all servers and apps. And of course, with the internet, everything else, it's a user's world now. Yeah. So that's what it turned to.
Yeah. Very different.
I started with the old big reel-to-reel tapes like that right there. If you remember, you ever seen it on TV back in the old movies in the data center?
Sure.
That's what I grew up with. See, yeah.
I remember the first Commodore 64 that came out. Our kids have no idea how things have changed.
Yep. And there's they had the mid-range, and then there was IBM 3090 and 81. But
there's Robert. Robert, you want to tell us about Cheese Curd making process?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I'm gonna go aside here and thank you for
some.
Yes, I'm going to. I'm gonna turn it over to Robert.
You can get yourself here. Want to spin the prize wheel here? Look at that.
Let's see. Okay.
Maybe you'll get a free bag of cheese curds. I usually cheat a little bit, but.
Oh man, I got pretzels at home. Can I spin again?
Look, it magically moved.
Okay. So I get that or not?
Yeah.
Okay. Will you wire it to them or what?
You just tell us up front.
Okay. All right. Hey, it was nice meeting you.
Yeah, nice meeting you too.
Yes.
Thanks.
And good luck, and Robert.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yep.
So Robert's here. Robert, I feel like we haven't seen you forever. I know we're supposed to work together too.
Quite busy.
Yeah, been super busy.
Yeah.
Robert Altman is the manager of the cheese store.
Hey guys.
Of the store here, and because we're booming and have so much going on, he's frequently in production. And he recently had, your wife had a baby.
Yes.
You didn't have a baby. Your wife had a baby. Let's get real clear.
Yes.
I'm sure you're an excellent father and help out with everything, but yes,
she had the baby. Yes. Yeah. So as you can see, these folks are crowding behind the wall. You can see behind Sam, they're anxiously awaiting some fresh cheese curds.
Tell us a little bit about the process.
Yeah.
It's a complicated process, at least it was for me. So I kind of bungled it a little bit.
Yeah.
But you do that while I will stand up here.
Yeah, for sure.
The camera on it.
Yeah. Yeah. So what they're doing.
Tried this before. Look at this. It's a magic camera.
So what they're doing is they start at 4 a.m. They get the milk ready. They put it in the totes, start pasteurizing it. It reaches a certain degree.
Pasteurizing in those big
big
back
stainless
there?
steel vats. Yep, we have vat 1 and vat 2, about 250 gallons in each. We did a half batch today, so at the end of the day, we should have about 500, 600 pounds of fresh and ready cheese curds. And then once they do, they have a pipe that runs across this big old table here. It's called the table. And that's where the milk turns into a delicious cheese. Once that's done, it's kind of heated up some more, adding in some culture, some different things like that. And then that's when you'll see the cheese and the milk start to separate. The milk will rise to the top, and the cheese, as you can see in the bottom of Sam's camera there, got some cheese, and that's sort of what it'd be like. That yellowish, milky texture that's on the top is actually called whey. Those are really great for animals, cows and livestock. And what that does is we can't consume it actually, so we just give it to a farmer nearby about twice a week, and have the cheese left over in the middle. We cut it, flip it, agitate it, do a few different things like that, and then your end product here is with Cheese Curds.
That was fast.
Yeah, very, very fast.
So if you didn't get all that, I think we have a video on the website or something, or
I think
we're
so.
supposed to produce one that
Yeah.
goes into detail on
Supposed
it.
to be walking through, yeah. So essentially what they do is they just heat the milk up. It turns into cheese, and we get rid of some of the liquid in the whey. And that's when you start to see the milk separate. You have the cheese set at the bottom. We rake it through a few times, move it, and then we add different things such as culture, rennet, calcium chloride, different things such as that. That makes the milk react and it turns into cheese. And at the end of the day, we cut it, we squish it, get all the extra whey outside of it, and then you have a big old block of cheese. And we cut it up into tiny bite-sized pieces. And that's what we add the salt to make it fresh and squeaky cheese curds.
Nice. Now I know there are other things besides cheese curds here.
Mhm.
How many other kinds of cheeses are currently sold in the store?
We have about 56, maybe over 60 different kinds of specialty cheeses that we carry here.
Wow. And what else? Just for those people who have been watching, who've never been here before.
Yeah, we have a few different things. We also carry a local Rib Shack, their line of barbecue sauces, which are delicious.
Did you say?
The Rib Shack, yeah. Jimmy Jack's. We have 4 of their sauces and their rib rub. We have a few different specialty sodas. We also have our KSN line, which is our basically our co-business. We have some French onion dip.
The yogurt.
The yogurt, yep. The yogurt, which is made here. We have a vanilla and a plain yogurt, which is both made here. You can stop on by, get that here. You can. We actually just started delivering to Florida as well. So any Florida fans, we got some there. Got some lightly salted butter. Yeah. We also have our chocolate milk, our whole milk, and our 2% milk, and lots of other things.
It's amazing. The food's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, food's amazing. The experience is amazing. People are amazing.
Mm-hmm.
We've got all kinds of cool stuff. Robert got some posters up here all about cows, cow anatomy, how milk's made, and a great Anabaptist Mennonite timeline, which people actually do.
They actually do, yes.
They do. They're
quite
fascinated by it.
Yeah.
Strategically placed near the timeline, which I'll show you, is the gumball machine.
Yep.
So you can hang on to your 2-year-old. You can hang on to your 2-year-old while reading. They can't run away.
So if you guys got any kids out that you just want to get out and about of the house for the summertime, we do tours here. Feel free to give us a call.
Ooh, that would be nice.
You can walk through. It'll be a quick 30-minute tour. I'll go more in depth on the cheese curd process here.
You'll explain it more slowly so we can all understand.
Slowly, yes. And then kind of go more in depth, talk about the history of Casey, some other things that we carry. And then at the end, if you're nice enough to us, we'll let you get some samples of the fudge and the ice cream, which is delicious, and you'll want more of it. And we got some printouts, some handouts for kids. So bring your kids on by, and we'd love to see you guys.
Now, the Kalona Creamery is located on Route 1.
Yes.
Just north of Kelowna, south of Iowa City on Route 1. It's in a brown building, but how will you know? How will you see from afar? How will you know you're approaching the Kalona Creamery, Robert?
So Sam has just set himself up perfectly. So what Sam has actually helped us out with is we got this huge 15-foot inflatable cow. 18 to 20 foot. It's a huge inflatable cow. You can't miss it coming from Kelowna to Iowa City. You'll see the building on the right. It's huge. It has Kalona Creamery on it. It's amazing. You got to stop by, come take a photo with it, and you'll love it.
And one day we still may get it up on the roof.
Yes.
So you can see it, a shining beacon of hope.
Yeah.
Announcing cheese curds to the world.
Stop on by and get your fresh cheese curds.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody, for joining us this week on the Squeak, live from the Kalona Creamery. I'm not sure if we'll be back next week or not. I think I'm on the road. Might be a few weeks, actually, before we get started up here. If you want to be a guest, just direct message us. If you want to take a look at the creamery, you can find us online, of course, KalonaCreamery.com, or our organic dairy, including the yogurt that's made here, KalonaSupernatural.com. And if you want to be a marketing intern and co-host the show or produce it or help me set up, etc., we are hiring in lots of different positions, not just marketing, but
also in the store.
The store, for the store, if you're looking for a summer job.
Also in production.
In production, second shift, first shift. I think we're hiring all over
too.
buyers, truck drivers, over the road, long haul. We're hiring all kinds of people because business is good. We're focused on investing in the local community here, preserving our local businesses, preserving our Amish and Mennonite family farms that are in the local community. So we're growing and we can use some help.
We'd love for you guys to be a part of our team.
Thanks again for joining us. We'll see you next week or the next week or the next week or on our next edition of The Squeak. Thank you.
See ya.